And we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Moms for Trans Kids podcast. Me llamo Doctora Lulu, and I have with me today my co host Ellen and a very, very amazing, y'all, let me tell you, amazing guests that I didn't even think we'll have today, but it happened. So welcome, Amore. Hello. Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
hello,
Ellen.
hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Have a few adjustments, but that's okay. Sometimes life will adjust and move things out of the way for you when it needs to, when it sees some things that you can't see directly. So, just adjusting and, finding my zen, getting my chakras all lined up. So, that's what I'm doing.
I ain't even mad at you. I ain't even mad at you. I've had a week like that. I've had a week of a lot of
Mhm.
excitement, ups and downs. I think that's life, ups
Yeah,
and
I was going to
downs.
say, it's just,
Yeah.
it's living. That's what we're doing is living.
Yeah, you get the ups, and then while you're still trying to celebrate the ups, here come a down. I mean, before you recognize what's a down, there's an up. I mean, and I'm so glad. My mother says only a dead man doesn't have any problems. One, and then she also says you should pray for not to have no problems, but to have the solutions for
Yeah.
the problems. So we're going to take my mother's advice. Oh my God, live on the show. And we're going to welcome our beautiful guest today, Amore. Hi, Amore.
Amore,
Yeah,
hi.
hello. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Amore, I know people sing with your name, don't they? Like there's an Italian song. When the sun hits the sky, something, 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 that's Amore. That's
Yeah.
Amore.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so
Yes.
excited. And we have
Yes.
a couple of people joining us from Instagram. We have For One Up 41 and we have Fern. Please let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. And if you have any questions, any concerns about today's guest, anything you would like to share, just let us know. We'll put it on air and we'll talk about it. So, Amor, tell me, why did you decide to come on the show? Why did you say yes at short notice too? What's up with that?
Yes. Well, I was very excited when I got the invite. You told me, like, hey, I would love for you to be on the show if you have a chance. And I was like, of course, I would love to. It's very exciting to just come on here. We need spaces and opportunities like this to just be able to speak, share our stories, hear our voices, and let people see that our visibility matters just like anybody else.
Spoken like a true beauty queen. Now I know why you won. Obviously, there are multiple reasons, but you always wonder when I've watched enough of Miss Americas, I was just like, well, what made them win? What actually was the winning thing? So now I think I know what it is. You shine like a diamond. I mean, you just came out and just said that like you practice and you didn't practice. So if y'all don't know, you're wondering who's the beauty queen. Amor is the reigning Miss Trans Georgia, is how to say it, or Trans Miss Georgia, Miss Trans Georgia. Which is it?
It's Miss Trans Georgia 2024.
So she's the current reigning Miss Trans Georgia 2024. I don't know if any of y'all I've never met a beauty queen before until I started doing this podcast. I met two beauty queens. Like, who would have thought? So they do exist. And so today we want to talk about normalizing what beauty truly is. And I think when I wrote the post, I said, when you think about beauty, what a beauty queen, what do you think about? Do you think about a tall, white, cisgender, blonde hair woman, or what do you think about? And so I wanted to come and just normalize the fact that beauty comes in different ways and beauty queens also come in different ways. So, Amor, or maybe Ellen. Let's start with Ellen. Ellen, what questions do you have for Amor before I dive into what I have? Because I have a lot of questions.
Well, I would love to, Amore. Thank you for joining us today. We are so excited that you're here. I would love for you to I'm curious about your beginning stages of your journey into beauty queendom. Um, did you start young? What did that support look like for you? Was it a little later on for you in young adulthood? What did that journey look like starting out?
Well, I would say that my journey started, like anybody else would. I've been watching beauty pageants for a while now. I've been looking at pageants like Miss Universe, Miss Grand International, and it got me thinking like, well, I would love to be in a beauty pageant, but back in the day before certain systems started to accept transgender women competing with cisgender women, I was thinking to myself like, well, is there even a system for trans women like myself? Do we even
Mhm.
have spaces where we can compete and be able to just really showcase that community, that siblinghood? So I would say that it started like very young. And it wasn't until I found the Trans USA National Pageantry System where I realized, you know what, this is something that I can possibly do. Um,
Mhm.
the reason why I like Trans USA so much and I decided to compete in their system is because of the simple fact that they are a true groundbreaker because they're at the moment, from my understanding, they are the only pageantry system that is transgender focused and is not a drag pageant and is not entertainment based. So there is no talent category, which personally I
Oh.
think is a very important distinction because I feel like there's this slight stigmatism where a lot of people associate trans individuals with like drag entertainers or showgirls, and no shade to my trans brothers and sisters and individuals who do drag, because drag is an art form. Drag, it takes money, time, and dedication. But for a girl like me who isn't really a full-time performer, I feel like it tends to kind of make us seem a little invisible. So when I came across Trans USA and I realized that they're more focused on the advocacy portion of the community, I
Mhm.
said, this is what I want to do. Because as an
Mhm.
independent trans advocate, I want to be able to, spread a message and showcase that us trans individuals, we are strong, we are powerful, and we can make change happen.
Wow.
Well,
I'm in.
that was the response of a beauty queen.
Yes, yes. I'm just so like, oh my
I
God. I was
loved
just
it.
writing, writing, writing. I did not know. First of all, my first question is, did y'all ever compete with cisgender women?
No, with
Oh,
Trans USA, it's specifically all trans individuals. They do have a Miss for trans women, a Mr. division for trans men, and just recently this year alone, they have added the MX division for gender nonconforming and non-binary.
yes, for the
Oh,
non-binary
good.
family. Yes.
That's wonderful.
Wow. And Kim is sending you some love from YouTube. We want to give a shout out to Miss Chelsea, who is in the building. Chelsea was giving you some love. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi,
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 Chelsea.
Kim.
Chelsea.
Hi, everyone. If you have any questions, any concerns, any comments, please type them in the comment section. I will get to them and I will make sure that I showcase them. If you have any questions specifically for our beauty queen, because it's not every day that I see one, and I don't know anybody else except people who I guess live with the beauty queen that see beauty queens every day. I did not know. Tell me more about this no talent category. That is interesting because
Yes.
that's the only category that I remember in the regular beauty queen, the cisgender people. This is so good.
Yes. So they, like I said, they did add the MX division for the gender nonconforming and non-binary individuals, which I feel is very important, because we do have gender nonconforming or gender expansive individuals that want to be seen and want to also have that representation, but they get so mixed into the transgender community or identity that it kind of makes them kind of feel unseen or unheard or unrepresented. And which is why I'm very excited that they brought in the MX division, because I feel that representation for everyone is important. So I'm very excited to, welcome the new MX individuals and, crown our inaugural MX Trans USA. This year alone is our biggest year. We have almost 95 contestants competing
Oh,
across all
wow.
divisions. And the Miss Division alone, we have about 40 states being represented. So it's very exciting to, welcome the new faces that are coming in this year, to welcome the returning class of 2023 participants. And me personally being, one of the returning 2023 delegates. I'm very excited to just showcase what I've managed to do. I feel like last year when I competed, being that I had no experience in pageantry whatsoever, it was coming into this a little bit blindsided because I didn't know what to prepare for. And this year, I've managed to take in the whole year to just really prepare myself, prepare my package, and come into this feeling confident and proud of what I'm going to be representing on that national stage.
Mm.
So you were green when you won. Like you literally were, you never had any experience and then you won.
Yes, it was very exciting because I personally felt like with trans pageants, I feel like there's a stigmatism that is caused by society. I feel like society tends to kind of exploit like the hyper feminine or hyper masculine trans individual, which causes individuals like myself who are just in the early stages or the beginning stages of their transition, that it causes us to feel a little, shunned by the world, because now girls like us are being seen as, okay, if you don't look the part, as they say, or if you're not if you're unclockable, if you're not unclockable, then you're not validated as a trans individual. And I feel like we're in a time where now trans individuals are more than happily and authentically living their lives, whether that means just being on hormones and not getting surgeries, or just happy, not doing any modifications to their body whatsoever. At the end of the day, the trans identity and the trans experience is not a one size fits all. All of our journeys are valid, and which is why if I was to win the Trans USA 2024 representative title, I would make sure I would use that title to push that message and showcase that I want to be that transformational leader that represents the authenticity of the trans identity.
I mean, I just mic drop right there, because what we do on this show, I never know who's going to come on and I never know what they're going to say. But nothing could have prepared me for this. What a beautiful way to put it. What a beautiful human being you are. We already have questions coming in from the audience. We have Kim from YouTube asking, what category do you find the most challenging? I guess, what are the categories? So yeah, what are the categories? But before you answer that question, the show is called Moms, the number 4 Trans Kids podcast. If you do not know, that's our name. We come on every Sunday. We're 3 to 4 plus moms who just come and normalize conversations about being parents of trans kids, having trans kids, trans experiences. Last week we had Sam and Van come and tell us about trans love, what it's like, loving someone who is trans, who transitions while you're meeting each other and loving each other and just normalizing that. And today we have a beauty queen coming to tell us that, apparently it's like the best beauty pageant ever. I want us to know if we can donate money before we leave this place. I want to know how we can help, because for you to not showcase talent, for me, I think that is a level playing field to me, because that means you have to come as you are and you have to win as you are. Not if you went to go and take soprano lessons for your voices, then now you can sing better, or if you have money to I don't know, do horseback riding, then you come and show that, but you're just coming as you are. So yes, I think Kim's question is very, very valid. But before we go to the question, I want to talk to you all about an event that's coming up next weekend. So
Is it next weekend?
It's next weekend, I think, because today is Sunday. So it's next weekend.
No.
Yes.
2 weekends.
No, baby. The way we're doing it is, the way it is today is the 3rd of November. So this weekend is the weekend of the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Okay.
So the next weekend begins again on Sunday. I mean, next week begins on Sunday. So believe it or not, I know. So believe it or not, it's coming up next weekend. But I'm actually so excited. And the reason Ellen is that excited because she's going to be here live and direct. Like, you're going to be meeting the moms for trans kids. They're going to be meeting all of us in the flesh. So the show the event is Parents Supporting Parents. And if you live in the Atlanta, Georgia area, we ask you to please tell someone about it, because that's how they're going to come. Otherwise, they're going to say, oh, Dr. Lulu, wait, it's already happened. When was it? I didn't know about it. Don't say we didn't tell you.
Yeah.
So it's also going to be coming to a city near you. So just stand by. We're going to go around the country with it. But in the meantime, we're starting in Atlanta, Georgia. It's on the 15th of November at 5:30 p.m. It's in person. And guess who's going to be speaking? Amore is going to be speaking. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Amore is going to be speaking. Ellen's going to be speaking. I'm going to be speaking. Kim is going to, all of us are going to be there. And it's going to be so beautiful. And so, Amore, thank you so much for coming on the show. I want to know, when you were watching TV as a child and you thought to yourself, I want to be in a beauty pageant, did you ever see that you could win? And how did that feel? Because I believe in manifestation. I believe in having a vision and going towards it, and that's how you manifest it. So how did that happen? Because you were socialized as a male.
Or did you ever see that you could be in a pageant? Because I
Period.
know that
Yeah.
this is really, we're in very more progressive times, if you will. So did you feel that it was within your reach that you would ever see
Yes.
yourself being in a pageant?
And then winning. Oh my God.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like everyone, at one point in life, they feel like they want to go after something big. They have that ambition, that drive to want to achieve a goal, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal. And yes, for a while, I did have that dream of wanting to compete and wanting to be in a beauty pageant. But because, at the time that I was growing up, all we knew was cisgender women,
Mm-hmm.
cisgender beauty pageants. I didn't really think that there was a space for me. So when I came across that there were trans beauty pageants, I was like, okay, this might be a space that I can possibly be welcomed in. So that's why I did my research. And when I came across Trans USA, I realized, okay, this is what I want to do. This is something that I would love to, participate in. And so, obtaining the title of Miss Trans Georgia, I feel like it's a really great start. I feel like personally, defining what a beauty queen is personally up to the individual. I define a beauty queen as a representative of the people. You are more than just a beautiful face and glamorous wardrobe. You are someone who is to carry a message. You are someone who is to represent what it means to be the greater good for the people. And that's one thing that I always express to not just myself, but to any aspiring, pageant participant.
Mm-hmm.
Always remember that when you go to this, regardless of what system it is, cisgender, transgender, whatever kind of pageant you do, when you win the title, the work does not start when that crown is placed on your head. The work starts well before you get crowned. The work should be started well ahead of time, and you should already be doing the advocacy that is required to obtain
Mm-hmm.
that title that you go for. Regardless of what that title is, regardless if it's a drag title, a little local title, state, regional, national, international, always remember that there is a bigger purpose behind the crown. You know, it is a privilege to wear the crown. It is not a necessity. It is a responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When is your book coming out? Because I want to read it. Okay, really quickly, Kim's question was, what category do you find the most challenging? Did you find the most challenging? And then what are the categories? And while you're thinking about the answer to that question, I want to showcase something that Chelsea said on Instagram. Chelsea said, you, Amore, came in as a powerhouse last year when it came to advocacy. So I want to hear all about your advocacy work. But first, Kim's question, what are the categories, and which one did you find more challenging?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the categories are close or interview with the judges, swimsuit, evening gown, or as they call it, formal wear because they want to be inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
and state costume. And then the top five move on to the final Q&A round. And personally, for me, Last year when I competed, I would say the most challenging category for me specifically was the interview category, simply because I felt like that was the going to be my weakest category because at the time I was very unsure of myself. I kept doubting myself and my abilities to speak and just how I carry myself, which is something that I should have never done because at the end of the day, we're all human. You know, we all make mistakes. We all have
Mhm.
flaws and imperfections we're not proud of. So when I walked into that interview room, I genuinely didn't know what to expect. So when the final results came out from just the interview category alone, and I realized that I managed to place 10th place in the Miss Division of the interview categories, I felt very proud of myself because, and even some of the judges told me that they are highly amazed at the fact that at the time I was only 23 years old. And even one of the judges told me, they was like, the fact that you're so young and you can be placed in a professional room and hold your own weight is very impressive, you know. And so that kind of, I use that as motivation to remind
Mhm.
myself, like, you know, at the end of the day, it is not, you do not have to sound perfect. You do not have to sound intellectual. You don't always have to sound like you came out of Harvard and you got a college degree in public speaking or anything, because at the end of the day, it's not about what you say, it's about the execution of your words and how you say it. It's about the message
Yes.
wording. So I always like to think of it as a positive, you know. This year with interview, I feel like I'm going to walk into it a lot more confident because now
Yes.
I feel
Mhm.
like I've managed to prepare myself in a way where I'm able to just authentically allow my personality to show, but still have that sense of professionalism and also showcase that I can be professional, but I can also be the authentic representation that the trans community needs.
Look, Mike, I don't know how you sounded last year. I don't care how you sounded last year because this you here, you're gonna win for the interview part. I mean, it's so flawless. Like what Oprah, because I always listen to Oprah. Oprah says, "Don't say don't say I haven't heard you say that, and they listen for that for interview, and you don't have any formal training. Oprah is very big on that. Don't say and don't say. I was like, what does? Then I say, oh, that's what Oprah means. So for all it's worth, you've already won in our eyes, of course. But you're going to take that. You're going to take that prize again. So you're going to go represent the state of Georgia. So how was it competing in the state of Georgia? Because Chelsea is telling us also on Instagram that let me see. See, I just said you see that? They showcase their state and costume with the music and their own words. Oh my God. All right, that's it. You got to tell us, what did you say? What did you sing? Chelsea is spilling the beans on Instagram. Chelsea is telling everything. Chelsea is singing like a canary on Instagram. So that's what Chelsea just said. Says that you showcased your state costume with your own music and words. Tell us about it, please. This is so
Yeah.
exciting.
Well, first of all, shout out to my big sister Chelsea. She is honestly such an incredible person. Like, since the moment I competed last year for Trans USA, she was one of the very few girls that actually reached out to me individually and was like, hey, welcome to the class, welcome to the Trans USA family, and I can't wait to meet you in person. And honestly, I feel like that was a really big thing, and that was a really big deal for me personally, because I feel like we don't have a lot of older trans women that are positive, that spread that, you know, that's the community, that siblinghood, which is why, you know, to this day, me and Chelsea talk about it. You know, I'm thankful to have her support as well. You know, I'm thankful to be able to support her on her Trans USA global journey, you know. And I feel like, see, but I mean, honestly, you know, I'm thankful that I realized that Trans USA is, like I said, a positive stage. It's a positive platform, honestly. You know, I feel like my state costume last year, yes, it was a little funny. It was supposed to be Coca-Cola, but because of some last minute decisions that I made, because of some last minute decisions I made, I realized this isn't gonna read well on stage. So I decided to change it. And when I spoke on stage, I was a little nervous, yes, and it did cause me to kind of, you know, shrivel up a little bit. But for the most part, I feel like, I did really well, Um, even though I might not have placed where I wanted, I realized for my very first pageant, placing within the top 15 is very impressive and very good. Think about other pageants, girls tend to prepare for like years and months and well
Mhm.
in their pageants, and they sometimes still don't place in their dream title. So I always think of it as a positive thing. I always think of it as, regardless of where I place, it's a good thing. So now when I come back next year, I know what to prepare for, and I can come back better than ever.
And you can keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. And you just got a lot of love from Jamie Lee 616 on IG says, I agree. Her advocacy and visibility is unparalleled. So good, so good, so good. Welcome to the show, Moms for Trans Kids podcast. We're here every Sunday by the grace of Jah Jehovah. And this week we had a snafu. For some reason, Calendly had a reset or something and knocked out all of my guests for the month of November. And I reached out to Amore, and Amore said, yes, I'll do it. And she said, I'll be at work, but I'll do it. And so, Amore, I want to give you a shout out. I want to give you your flowers. I want to say thank you for saying yes within 48 hours of this moment. You said, yes, I'll do it. That in and of itself is a sign of the kind of person that you are. And I hope and I pray, yes, I said I'll pray that you win this coming week when you go to Milwaukee. However, even if you don't win the final trophy, I always say that the person who wins the pageant is usually never the only most beautiful person there. It's just the person that it was their time to win. And so just know that we're sending you so much love from Georgia with love. And I'll send you a peach, to make you, I don't know, eat a peach on your way. I don't know. But thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited. We're going to take some more questions and some more comments. Ellen, do you have any comments? Kim, I know you're watching. Do you have any questions, any comments before I give my next question? Chelsea says, I love you, my little sister. Oh, Chelsea, this is beautiful. Let me copy it. Chelsea says, I love you, my little sister. May God bless you and all the good things. So Chelsea is giving you so much love. If you can hear me on Instagram and you have any questions or any comments, or you want to send love, you want to send flowers to our guests, please do so. You want to send love to the Mama Beast, please do so. We love to get some love because it is hard out here being a Mama Beast. But let me put Chelsea's comment on there because it's so beautiful. Chelsea says, I love you, my little sister, and thankful for you. May God bless you on your journey next week. Just know you are already a queen. Yeah. Yes. Ellen, any comments?
Well, I am just really enjoying just hearing your journey and how you are just sharing with us just your passion and how you are such an advocate. My question for you is, how were you supported by family, friends, parents, chosen family, growing up and starting to move into this journey?
Well, I can say that my journey, in the early stages when I was very young was not at its peak, mainly being because, I wasn't really authentically living like myself. And as I got older, there was a point in time where, things just kind of took a turn. I don't want to say for the worst. If anything, it really helped me better myself for the better.
Mhm.
And I would say it was around that time when I realized, you know what? Those that support me are going to love and support me all the way. And those that don't, it's completely fine. At the end of the day, I know that I'm not here on this world to please everyone. I'm not expecting for people to love me and accept me for who I am always. Those that
Mhm.
do, I'm always welcoming with open arms, but those that don't, that's fine. That's your right. You have every right to feel like that. But I'm not going to sit here and change who I am just for you to like me. So with family, with friends, the support has always been there.
Mhm.
Even with the organizations that I work with during my advocacy journey, they have been immensely incredible working with. I love, working with everyone. And that's what I say, I would say my advocacy journey started back in 2019 when I volunteered for a nonprofit that
Mm-hmm.
advocated for the trans immigrant Hispanic community of Georgia. Um, and I have transitioned into my own advocacy journey, working alongside and collaborating with several organizations that, cover various aspects, from healthcare to housing to fair job employment, and even, our LGBTQIA plus youth. So I've covered a wide variety and a wide range of several topics that, all come down to, I would say, the mission and vision of Trans USA, which is to, advocate for equity and excellence within the trans and gender expansive community.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope to be able to really just showcase that, and with the Trans USA platform, that's what I've hoped to do, is just elevate that work and showcase that, there are girls like us that are out here doing the work for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, but for our people, so we can all thrive, so we can all have a better tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, if we don't advocate for ourselves, then who's going to advocate for us?
Absolutely.
Spoken like a
Absolutely.
true queen. Thank you. I was just writing down. I love equity and excellence. I love that. You said that equity and excellence. You mentioned trans immigrant advocacy. I love that as an immigrant. Definitely, definitely that resonates with me. Even though I'm cisgender, anything that has to do with holding space for immigrants, I am there front and center. So thank you so much for being an example of what's possible for immigrants, because there are trans immigrants, whether people want to believe it or not. There are trans Nigerian immigrants, they are all over the place, whether they want to believe it or not. So thank you for being one of those people who is the face of that, because that was my question. I was going to ask you, what was your advocacy platform? So now I see what it is. And I do want to know what struggles you had along the way. But before we go to that, Jamie Lee 616 says, I competed with Amor at the Miss Trans USA last year, and wishing her all the best of luck this year. You're getting so much love. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee. If you're still here, Jamie Lee, please send me a DM so I can have you come on the show. We want to hold space for all trans people from all over the planet, because you do exist and your stories are real and need to be shared. And if we can have 1 hour of just sharing that story, we want to do that for you. So please, Jamie Lee, I will have to find you. Let me write your name down so I don't forget,
Mhm.
and invite you to come on the show, because this is exactly how we do it. So I want to know, Miss Beauty Queen, what were the struggles you had along the way on your way to the crown? Because I feel like this is a book. And I'll send you. You can find this episode on YouTube right now, but also you can find it on Apple or wherever. You can actually, if you've never thought about that, you can actually download it and transcribe it, and then you already have half of your book written. If you don't know, Miss Trans USA, I'm talking to you. Yes, that's what I did with my very first book. Was a Facebook Live. This book here was a Facebook Live, and what I did was um, I was traveling to Singapore, and I found out that it was a 17-hour flight. So in the 17 hours, I transcribed this Facebook Live with this title, and I made it my book. And then by the time I came back from Singapore, the book was born. So you can literally have a book by the end of the year if you want to, Miss Trans USA. But I digress. So tell us, what were the struggles? What bumps along the way, any, if you had any at all?
Honestly, I would say really just like, I would say the biggest struggles personally is just, and this is me speaking in general, and then I'll get to like my specifics. I would say one of the biggest struggles for any, aspiring contestant, pageant, or whatever the case may be, cisgender or, transgender, I would say not is having is like, honestly, the lack of support is really the biggest thing. I've, I've been reached out to from so many individuals that have told me like the thing that killed their dreams was not, like was not poverty or finance or anything, but it was that lack of support, not having some
Mm-hmm.
guide them to lean on, not having someone to be able to show them, like, the way. And I feel like for me specifically, I would say that the hurdles that I had to face were just more so self-acceptance, self-love, and reminding myself that perfection is in the eye of the beholder. The same way that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I feel like, as long as I'm happy and I love what I see in the mirror every day, that's all that matters. And now, obviously, yes, there are physical things such as, like, finances, support from community, support from organizations that you work with. But I feel like at the end of the day, if things happen for a reason, so if you might not get the support that you want in the ways that you would like, but at the end of the day, be grateful for the support that you have. Since the beginning of my reign of this year, I've reached out to so many organizations, and businesses, just asking for, some kind of sponsorship or some kind of contributions. And thankfully, I do have sponsors, maybe not in the way I would like, but obviously at the end of the day, I feel like all support is great support, because support in one way or another is going to benefit you later on down the road. For example, the sponsors that I have today, I have a culinary sponsor that has cooked an incredible meal for me to take on my journey to the Trans USA pageantry stage. I've had, a skincare sponsor, cosmetic sponsor, transportation sponsor. So I personally feel like, I'm thankful. I'm genuinely thankful for everyone that has supported me, in any which way, shape, or form, because it's not easy. Anyone that has been in the pageantry world or knows about the pageantry world, or at least knows what goes into preparing for a pageant, knows that pageantry takes time, it takes dedication, it takes money. So if you don't have any kind of support in any which way, shape, or form, it's going to be difficult. So I'm thankful, I'm thankful that I've managed to have those people that have stood beside me, that have shown me nothing but love and appreciation and gratitude and believe in me. That's the biggest thing too. It's like believing in yourself and letting that belief shine through you, because you can have all the people in the world believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, then it's not going to make sense why you're even doing the things that you do. So that's what I would say were my biggest struggles. But honestly, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I'm here. I'm thankful that I'm thriving. I'm thankful that regardless of where I place at Trans USA, even though we are manifesting the crown and going after the crown, I'm thankful that my journey is only beginning. I'm only 24, so I still have so much that I know I can offer.
Muy, ¿cómo se dice en español? Muy
Bien.
joven, muy joven, right? Muy joven.
Mm-hmm.
Sí. Usted está muy joven, más joven que mi hija. I didn't even know that. No sé, I had no idea, pero usted está más joven que mi hija. So I don't even know that mi hija will do this. No. No, but this is so beautiful. Muchísimas gracias de mi corazón. And so well spoken and said so beautifully. I have never heard anyone say perfection is in the eye of the beholder. Have you, Ellen?
No.
That was so well delivered. I hope that that's the title of your book, because that is so, I've never heard that. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder, and so is beauty. And that is so true. Yes, if I say I'm perfect, then I'm perfect. I just need to see myself as perfect. So well said. And I like that you also said you may not have what you want, but you must be grateful for what you have. And that was perfection. Because the skincare, the culinary, all those people that are your sponsors right now, they will give you more because they heard you say thank you. Yes, I do quote the Bible a lot because I used to teach Bible study. But there is a part of the Bible where they mentioned the parable of the owner of the barn, or I think the master, who was giving his servants money. And he gave the guy $1, then he gave the other guy like $5, and he gave the other guy like $10. And the guy who he gave $10 was so happy he went and invested the money and made $10 more. And the guy that was given $5 was so happy he made $5 more. The guy that got $1 was like, you know what? You have all this money and you just give me $1. You know what? Whatever. And the guy said, you know what? I would take your $1 and give it to the other guy, because so to whom much is given, much is given. So for me, that's what I use the Bible for, just to remind me of the fact that we're all human, and these things are really there to ground us with the stories. Just take the message from the story, not anything else, because of course that's a traumatic direction if you just want to go further. But that's an important story about gratitude. Like the little bit you've been given, that's how you get more. So bless you for giving a shout out to these people. I don't know if you can, but thank you for saying that today, because maybe somebody's going to hear your voice today and give you more money. We don't know. But you're right. It does take money to do these things. And I want people to know that. I still want to know how you won in Georgia, because I didn't even know Georgia even had a platform for trans people, because Georgia is fundamentally transphobic. So how did you do it in Georgia? How did you do it?
Well, thankfully, with the Trans USA registration process, it's actually not that difficult. All you do is go onto their website and register. When you register, they ask you to select your top 3 states, and whichever state is available is the one that you represent at the national pageant. They don't have state preliminaries, which I feel like is kind of great. I feel like it's really great because it gives anyone that wants to compete a chance to compete and, spread their message, to elevate their voices. So it wasn't difficult, I'm thankful that I've managed to represent Georgia. This is being my 2nd year. And, I'm thankful because I feel like, Georgia, even though we might have, political turmoil, thanks to, some of the more closed-minded society members, want to make Georgia seem like it's this, even though we are a southern state, I feel like there's still some good in certain people. So I'm thankful to be able to, represent those values, represent that virtue, and showcase what it means to, be a Georgia representative. Even in pageantry in general, I actually found a little article on Google somewhere that said that Georgia was actually a part of the top 5 states that are the most competitive in any pageantry system, which to me personally, I feel like that makes sense, because even though we might be more of a southern state or a conservative state, I feel like there are times where a lot of Georgia representatives that go on to compete at their pageants, whether it's, local, regional, or national, they tend to show up and show out and really showcase the essence of what it means to be, a Georgia peach. So I'm very excited to, get to represent that at Trans USA again this year.
I want to take a moment and just do something that I wanted to do at the beginning. I wanted to hold space for all parents of trans children and all trans parents of children, period. Today, apparently, someone just tagged me on Facebook, which is crazy because I just got the notification and I looked. Someone tagged me and sent me pink, blue, and white hearts and just said, the first Sunday in November is Transgender Parent Day. So I didn't know that, but someone just tagged me. So thank you. And they were saying thank you to me. I want to take a moment on behalf of the Mama Beasts, and I'll let the other Mama Beasts send their love to every parent who's been on this show, every parent who has been told that their child is trans, whose child has invited them in, those who are struggling with information, those who are comfortable with information, those who are in shock with information, and even those who have taken the wrong turn after hearing the information. I want to give you all flowers today because who knew that we have our own day? And yeah, so happy transparent, happy trans, the word is transgender. Happy Transgender Parent Day, not transparent. So I said happy Transgender Parent Day. So it's whether you're a parent of a trans kid or you're trans and you're a parent. And that's why I was saying to Chelsea, Chelsea is a dog mom. So Chelsea, happy Transgender Parent Day. All right, Ellen and Kimmy, let's hear y'all. Thank you so much to the person who tagged me. This is so beautiful. I'm going to give them a bit of love right now because this is so beautiful. All right, Ellen.
Well, Amore, I just am really so grateful to just have an opportunity to meet you and to talk and get to know you. And just, your journey
Mm-hmm.
is, it's your journey is saving lives. And when I say that, I mean that there is somebody, you are paving the way and the path, and you're continuing to carry this torch for other young trans people, especially in the pageantry field. I think that is amazing what you're doing, and just representing, and the advocacy work that you are doing. I think is just wonderful. My next question for you is, where do you see this going after Miss Georgia? Where are your next aspirations? Are you planning on um, joining Miss Chelsea, maybe your pageantry mother? Are you planning on taking this internationally? Where is this going to go? How far are you going to take this, Amore?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I've already made the decision that after my time with Trans USA has come to an end, I've decided that I'm going to take a break from the competing aspect of
Mm,
pageantry. Because competing in a pageant, like I said, it takes time, it takes money, it takes dedication. And I want to personally just allow myself to get in more of a better space in life
mm-hmm,
to be able to continue my pageant journey, but feel way more happy in a sense because of the simple fact that I feel like, I'm personally happy with how I am right now. When people try to sit there and down me because I'm, a plus size girl, I'm not, a regular thin size zero, it doesn't bother me because I know that at the end of the day, if I was meant to be skinny, I'm going to be skinny, and I'm happy with the size that I am right now. But at the same time, though, me personally, I would like to be in a little bit of a better space, so I've decided that even though I'm going to take a break from competing, I'm still going to be dwelling in the pageantry world, more so as like a mentor because I am going to be mentoring, the girls that come after me that choose to go into the Trans USA system. Um, you
mm,
know, be on the lookout for that, y'all, because in January we already have an aspiring girl who is going to be representing Georgia at Trans USA in 2025, and she will be announced at my step down ceremony in January. So be on the lookout for that.
Is it going to be a party? Because I'm there. If it's a party, if there's music, if there's dancing, I'm there. Is it going to be in Atlanta?
Yes, of course, it is going to be in Atlanta. So, it is, everyone is going to be welcome. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited because she's someone that I have personally been working with. And she's a really great person. I'm thankful that she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I want to get into advocacy. I want to get into pageantry, but I just don't know how. And I don't know where to go or where to start. So I told her,
mm,
I was like, what I can do, and this is for any of the girls that have reached out to me and have asked me to either train them or prepare them for any of their systems. I always tell them, I can't guarantee you a win, but what I can do is I can make sure I train you to be able to present the best version of yourself on that national stage. Why? Because at the end of the day, regardless of where you place, you need to walk away feeling proud of what you represented because that's what people are going to remember you by. And you don't want to walk into this presenting something that you don't feel was authentic to you and to your journey and to
mm,
what you had to offer. So don't expect a win. Just expect to be the best you, and may the best you be enough to gain that crown. Because the way I see it, even though, yes, the participants, we all go for the one thing, we all go for that title. But the reality of it is, you just might not be what the organization or the judges are looking for to represent this journey. So, and that's perfectly fine. That's
Yeah,
perfectly
I was just going to ask if you were but you answered the question. I was just going to ask if you were going to kind of move into like a more of a mentorship
Mentorship, yeah.
role. Hmm.
Yes, and I am, and I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that I've managed to obtain resources that have helped me with my advocacy journey. And I'm also going to, offer those same resources to any aspiring pageant girls or just anyone in general that wants to, get into this field. Regardless if that's with advocacy, with pageantry, or any field, I'm thankful that I've managed to, in all the fields that I do, I'm naturally a very creative person at heart and use my artistic outlets as a form of just self-expression. Being an aspiring fashion designer, being an aspiring model, a pageant queen. So I'm thankful that I've managed to break those stereotypes and break those boundaries and just showcase that, beauty comes in all sizes and we all can do things that we want. It's just about going after your dreams, the same way that pageantry gave me that ambition and that drive to go after something big that I truly want. It's the same way I want to, encourage others to go after the things that they want in whatever field they choose to go, because you should not limit yourself to just one thing or just going after one specific goal. Me personally, with all my advocacy that I do, I always say I don't just represent just one thing. I don't represent just the trans community or just my queer community or just my plus size community. I represent everyone that I identify with. So my Hispanic community, my trans community, my, Spanish speaking monolingual community, anybody that I identify and that I represent, I choose to acknowledge because we all need that acknowledgement. So I would say,
Yes.
I'll be proud of who you are and go after what you want.
Yes.
I love it.
I was trying to get you. Y'all don't mind me. I wanted to feature you, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just leave it alone. But yeah, because what you're saying is so powerful. I love the whole when you get to the top, just reach back down and bring somebody up. That to me is the message you're giving us today. Thank you for being that. I kind of figured, and but what if you win in November? I mean, what's happened? Are you going to still step down?
Well, if I do win the Trans USA
No, when you win.
correction, yes, when I win the title of Miss Trans USA in November, I'm still going to, of course, work alongside, my fellow pageant sisters. And even though I might not be, technically that wouldn't even be my step down. That would be uh, my coordination. That would be the coordination of the next trans Georgia girl. So that's
Mm,
very exciting, and then having the opportunity to say that you were crowned by your successor is really exciting. So when I do win that crown, I'm going to obviously, be excited to crown the next girl, but
mm.
also, continue to just work and elevate my platform, elevate my advocacy. I feel like it's important to, just continue the work. Even though I've already been doing this work since 2019, I'm still excited to continue doing this work and to continue just, being that representative, because I feel like the way the media portrays trans individuals can sometimes not be the truth. I always feel like it's very hard to find authentic representation of the trans community. People who are, just everyday average individuals, yeah, some of us might have the glamorous life and live this luxurious lifestyle, but at the end of the day, what's the glitz and the glamour have to do if you yourself are not happy and if you aren't
Mm.
happy with your life and where you're at in your life journey. So that's what I choose to continue to do. I'm going to continue to elevate, I'm going to continue to inspire, and hopefully just showcase that, all trans individuals are beautiful, all trans identities are valid, and all trans journeys are going to be respected, accepted, and acknowledged.
Wow. I don't know. You sound like you're reading that. That is so beautiful. And by the way, what you said about you can have all the glitz and glamour if you're not happy is also applies to cisgender. It's everybody. It's
Yeah,
everybody. Because I mean, I don't want
yeah,
to go down the suicide lane right quick, but it's everybody. I mean, it's everybody. It's everybody.
yeah.
Cisgender, all of us, all of us. Wow, we have come to the last 5 minutes of the show. So I want you to take a moment and take a deep breath and tell us where can people find you, follow you, make a donation, support, whatever you want to give a shout out to, because we're really just so thankful. I personally just for you dropping up everything you're doing while you're at work. Like to come and do this for us today. I truly appreciate it. So where can the people find you? Where can they follow you? What are your handles? And where can we make a donation? All the things.
Yes, of course. So y'all can follow me on my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook as Amore Desire Sierra Cano. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, which is the with two e's dot real amore 2000. I have links to my GoFundMe on both my Facebook and my Instagram, and then also, I do have the QR code as well. If you feel more comfortable donating personally outside of the GoFundMe, also be sure to go fund the Trans USA pageant. Go donate because they are a 501c3. So obviously they run off of donations, and they run off of, just any contributions that people are willing to donate and to take and, to offer. Also, be sure to, go support my incredible sister Chelsea. Go follow her on her social media platforms. Go follow her on the Trans Global USA page as well. And yeah, just be open. That's honestly one of the biggest things I say. Just be open. Be open to educate yourself. Open to learn. At the end of the day, I understand that, people were raised differently in different times. They're more close-minded. So all they know is what they were grown up to, be around. So all I say, is, just be open, be willing to learn, and allow yourself to accept change. We're in a time where things are completely changed, the same way that things were back in 2019, or, 20 early 2010s, the 90s is not the same that we are currently in 2024. So accept change, be happy. At the end of the day, we're all human. We're all human. We're all on this earth to just live and be happy. So why are we allowing our differences to deter us and allow us to separate us and make us divide, when we should be uniting together as people?
Um, uh, Dr. Lulu, I think you forgot an E. I think you forgot an E. Is it the real Amore? Amore? Is it a More or MOR?
More.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the real. I think you said the E, two E's. Is that correct though?
Yeah, it's
The
the
yeah, two E's. The
Oh,
RE. Yeah, it's a
okay.
more.
I'll write that down again. So, but anyway, I'll tell you what, because most people will actually hear this on Apple. So it's the with two E's,
Mhm.
real, REAL, Amor with an E at the end,
Yeah.
2000 on IG. Please
Mhm.
Yes.
go find and follow her and find her and donate and just really educate yourself. I spoke to someone, I actually blocked him. He sounded like a good guy at the beginning, but then he said he has a son, and as far as it's concerned, he doesn't believe. He said, and I quote, "I believe in science, and science says if you're born with male genitalia, you're a boy." And I just let him finish the phone call, and then I blocked him. So I just wanted to put that out there. I didn't even, and I had to ask myself, I said, why didn't you even try it? I said, I don't want to educate everybody. I had no bandwidth to educate this.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
that. On that note, the show has been amazing. We have had the current reigning Miss Georgia, Miss Trans Georgia, with us today, Miss Amore. Thank you so much for coming. If you live in Atlanta, Georgia, please find her, follow her, donate to her platform, and come on the 15th of November if you're a parent of an LGBT plus child, period, and let's hold space for you. Ellen, what are your going away words? I
My
know.
going away words are, you know what? Love each other, parents supporting parents. Listen, if you all saw Dr. Lulu and I out here in West Hollywood, if
We
you
ho!
thought, if you thought that we are forced to reckon with together, and we hope, you just wait till we get together in Atlanta.
Yes, yes,
Ah.
absolutely. All right, folks, it's just been an honor to have you on the show. Please take care of yourself. Watch your back. Every time I part with a trans woman of color, I don't want to say it, but I mean, I'm not any safer, but we'll see. But thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming. I appreciate you so much. I hope you win. I know you will win. And even if you don't win, we're going to have Nigerian food next weekend. So who cares? All right, my love. I'll see y'all
Thank you,
later. My
Chelsea.
name is
Thank
Dr.
you. Thank you,
Lulu.
Amore.
Y'all, please follow the podcast. And yes, I'll see y'all next week, Sunday, by the grace of God. Peace, love, and so. Bye. Bye, Amore. We love you.
Bye.
Bye, Ellen.